You guys are probably like, girl, you got a lot of blush on, but just bear with me. Bear with me, it's gonna come together. Hey sis, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you guys a quick no foundation makeup look that you can wear on your next night out. I'm going out tonight, so I wanted to make sure I showed you guys this look. So if you're interested, just continue to watch. All right, sis, so I'm actually going out for tonight, but I wanted to show you guys a quick makeup routine that you could actually apply for a night like this, like if you're going out for dinner or anything of that sort. So I'm actually going out for a friend's birthday dinner, so I wanted to show you guys the kind of look I would do. Now, I want to show you guys this specific look because this is one of those days where I do not want to wear foundation. So if you're someone who does not like wearing foundation, or you want to break from wearing foundation because of your skin, things like that, this is the makeup look for you. So let's get into it. All right, so the first thing I'm going to start off with is moisturizing my skin. So I've come out the shower, I'm ready to just tackle my face and get into this makeup look. So I'm going to start off with a really good moisturizer. One that I've been using is the Murad Nutrient Charged Water Gel Moisturizer. This one's really good, especially for the winter season. My skin actually changes with seasons, so right now, because it's winter, my face is just super dry. So I really love using this product. Very hydrating. It is in a gel form, so if you're someone who has oily T-zone like myself, I am considered combination. This is like perfect because it's oil-free and it's going to really hydrate your skin. Like I said, this is super hydrating, so you definitely don't need to worry about your skin getting dry underneath your makeup or anything like that. It's just going to really set the skin up for a flawless makeup look. I've been using this ever since the weather got really cold outside, and it's just been doing wonders for my makeup. So you guys could actually see it through the screen how hydrating it is. Like my skin instantly looks more plump and just refreshed, which is something that I love. All right, so I'm gonna quickly move on to my brows. So at this point, I like to just get my brows out of the way. Whatever you have to do for your brows, I always recommend doing it first, just because you can just get it out of the way. A lot of people's brow routines nowadays have lessened, and it's less steps and less tedious. So for me, I know I like to use a brow gel. I've been using my e.l.f. brow lift for like ever now, so that's actually what I'm going to be using today. And this is just going to tame my brows, really shape it in place, and set it up for the makeup look. And what I like to use for my brows is a double-sided spoolie. So it has the spoolie on one end and then the angled brush on the other end. I usually use the spoolie for my brow gel, and then with the angled end, I go in with either a powder to fill it in, or I do go in with a brow pencil, whichever the case is. So what I like to do is just disperse the product throughout my brows, and then I use my spoolie to really shape it in place and let it lay pretty flat. I love a nice flat brow, and then I like to just shape it in place to the desired look that I like. I feel like one side of my brows just has more brow hairs going on. I don't know what it is, but I like to just play around with the shape and just make sure that they both look pretty presentable. And yeah, that's about it. That's all I do for my brows. Now we can move on to our complexion. All right, so normally at this step, I'd put on a primer. Now for today's video, I'm not using a primer. I'm gonna go in with a tinted moisturizer. So today I'm gonna be using the Smashbox Healthy Glow All-in-One Tinted Moisturizer. And this says all-in-one. So this is why I'm not using a primer today. So this specific tinted moisturizer primes, perfects, protects, and hydrates. So it's a 4-in-1. So it primes your skin, so you don't need to worry about applying a primer before using this. It perfects, so it helps to give you a nice smooth, even finish. It protects, so it has SPF. I believe it has SPF 25 in it, so it's really good for the summer season when that sun is just beaming. Definitely an all-in-one, and it hydrates. So if you're someone who has dry skin, this will definitely do what it needs to do in terms of hydrating. Now, like I said, today I didn't want to use any foundation, so this is a nice alternative for those days where you want to do your face up, but you don't want to apply loads of layers, or you don't want to apply something that's too heavy. You want to apply something really lightweight. A tinted moisturizer is like the way to go. So I'm going to be using this today, and I'm going to apply it the same way I would as if I was applying a foundation. So I'm still going to use a brush. You can definitely use a tinted moisturizer with your bare fingers, but if you're someone who doesn't want to get your fingers messy or anything like that, you're still open to using a foundation brush or even a damp beauty sponge. So I'm just going to put a bit of this to the back of my hand We're gonna start off with that. I'm gonna take my e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush, dip into this Tinted Moisturizer, and we're just going to stipple this into the skin. Now, this isn't going to completely cover any dark spots that you have. I'm actually having a really good skin month right now, so I don't have much dark spots that I need to worry about, which is why I opted for using a tinted moisturizer today. But if you are someone who has just a lot of pigmentation, it's not going to completely cover your pigmentation, so just keep that in mind. And this is super glowy. You can see through the screen how glowy this is, so it's definitely a really good product for the winter season. And with a tinted moisturizer, you are open to just applying it everywhere, even underneath your eyes. This is a moisturizer. It's going to help moisturize your skin and really prep it and just make sure that you have a really nice even base. So you guys are seeing it firsthand what that did for me. It gave me a really nice even base. I don't think I shared what shade I am in this, but I am in the shade dark. So this is a really good alternative for those of you who have pretty decent skin, don't have a lot of discoloration to deal with, but do want to put on something really light. This is going to do it every time. All right, so this is how the skin is looking. Love, love, love how it's coming together. Now we could really look into really putting the look together. Like I said, I'm going to a birthday dinner today, so I still want to look like I did a little something to my skin. So now we're going to move on to some liquid blush. I am going to be using my e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush in the shade Coming in Hot, or Coming in Pink. It's a cute name, but I'm going to use this as a little blush to my skin and really bring the look together. I know blush can be really intimidating, so I always recommend when you use your blush, put a bit of it to the back of your hand, just the same way you would with your foundation. This really helps to control how much of that blush you're putting on your skin. And for my blush, I'm going to use my e.l.f. Liquid Blush Brush, and I'm just going to dip into that blush, really warm it up on the back of my hand and on the brush itself, and then I'm just gonna apply it on the apples of my cheeks. So that is looking like a lot, so let's transfer it to this side as well. But doing this method really helps to limit how much you're putting directly on your face. If you were to put just a little dot or a bit of dots on your skin right away, I feel like it will just be a lot, especially for a beginner. So I always recommend putting some on the back of your hand and just taking the time to blend it out. You guys are probably like, girl, you got a lot of blush on, but just bear with me. Bear with me, it's gonna come together. Okay, so I have my blush down. Let's move on to some concealer. So for today, I'm gonna be using my L'Oreal True Match Serum Concealer. So this has 1.5% hyaluronic acid, which is along with the same products I've already been using. So it has really hydrating ingredients, which is what I want because I don't want my skin drying out or looking patchy or any of that stuff. So I'm gonna go in with this concealer as my highlighting concealer. And you guys have seen in all my videos where I apply this underneath my eyes, forehead, down the bridge of my nose, cupid's bow, and chin. I do have a detailed video on how to do like a full face of makeup. So if you haven't checked that out, I'll leave it on the cards above for you to check out. But as of right now, we're just gonna do what we normally do, which is highlight underneath the eyes. So I like to work in sections. We're gonna start with under the eyes first. And I like to bring up that concealer just a little bit on the sides of my nose because this does act as my contour, my nose contour later. And we're just gonna apply some to the sides here. And then I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush. We're gonna keep the e.l.f. trend going. And we're just gonna take that brush and blend it into the blush. That is how we get rid of that harsh looking line and really soften the blush so that it doesn't look too harsh. And then you wanna make sure that you're blending the sides where you applied it on your nose as well. So always start with blending out the edges and then work your way underneath the eye. So you can already see how much the blush really toned down with that concealer. All right, I'm gonna apply it to my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, cupid's bow, and my chin. And then to just finish off with the concealer, I'm gonna take my concealer and my flat brush, and we're just gonna shape the brows and conceal the eyelids. And I like to just connect it with the concealer underneath my eyes and really just bring it all together. All right, so at this point, I think I'm pretty good with my creams and my liquid products. So now it's time to move on to some powder. So you guys have seen, you guys are probably tired of this powder, but I can't go a video without it. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I can't, but I'm gonna go in with my Black Radiance True Complexion Loose Setting Powder and just set all of the areas that I just applied that concealer. And I'm gonna take my Wonder Beauty Velour Puff and just use this to set everything. Before setting everything, I do highly recommend making sure you go back in with your concealer brush and make sure that everywhere is blended. You never want to set your creases, so make sure that your creases are blended out. And then taking the powder, just take a bit off on your hand. This hand is like covered with makeup, but that's okay. And then you just want to press that powder underneath your eyes. I don't know, I just love this powder. It makes my skin super flawless, super smooth. I haven't had a bad scenario with this powder. So I'm just gonna apply this to all the areas that we use that concealer. And you don't want to forget underneath your brows and your eyelids. You always want to make sure that you're setting those as well, because of course you use concealer in those areas as well. All right, so at this point we're all powdered up. We are gonna go in with one more powder, and this is our all over powder. So I'm gonna go in with my Sephora Micro Smooth powder. This is a finishing powder, and this is in the shade Toffee. So I'm gonna go in with the super big and fluffy powder brush. This is like my favorite brush to use if I'm gonna do an all over powder, just because of how big it is. This just helps me get a larger surface done quite quickly actually. So I'm gonna dip into this powder, and I'm using this powder because it is super lightweight. So we're still in the realm of using lightweight products, so we don't need to worry about our makeup being too heavy. Using this powder really just brings the look together while setting everything in place. So I'm also going over that liquid blush that we applied as well. So this is just going to bring everything together. So at this point you should be like super matte. You should not have any shine. Everywhere that you've put concealer or any liquid products should be set with some powder. So I'm going to go in with a bit of bronzer today. I am going to be using my L'Oreal Infallible bronzer. This is in the shade 500 Dark, and I'm just going to take an angled brush like this and just warm back up the skin. So I'm just applying it on all the areas, all the outer areas of my skin. I do have a detailed video on bronzers and contour, so if you haven't checked that out, I'll leave it on the cards right here for you to check out right now, or after this video actually. I do go in depth on the positioning, when to use which, and all of that good stuff. So if you are interested in bronzers and contour, then check that video out. But this is just going to bring back some warmth to the skin and just really bring that dimension back. I'm gonna go in with this smaller angled brush, and we're gonna use this for the nose contour. So I like to go down the sides. This brush really makes it super easy to do my nose contour just because of the angle. If I were to recommend like a contour brush, try finding something that is small and angled like this one here. And while I still have this in my hand, I'm gonna use my eyeshadow brush and just apply some to my crease, just to do a little something on the eyes. All right, so we lost a bit of that blush, surprisingly. So we're gonna go back in with some powder blush. So this is the Sephora Colorful Blush in the shade Over the Top. And I'm just gonna go over that area we applied blush just a little bit to add back that intensity. All right, so I think I'm pretty much done with my complexion, just really giving myself a really nice, even, flawless base. Now it's time for the customization and really bringing the look together, making it what you want it to be. So whether that's lashes, a red lip, whatever that looks like for you. So I'm actually gonna apply some lashes. I'm gonna be using my Ardell 252 lashes. Now these are a bit more dramatic, so I wanted to look like I tried for this night out and just do a more dramatic lash. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pop these on really quickly. All right, so I popped on my lashes. I am gonna go in with a bit of mascara to just apply to my bottom lash line. And this is just going to really bring the look together. All right, so I'm gonna move on to the lips. I'm gonna take my Palladio eyeliner and use it as a lip liner today. And then for my lips, I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. Glow Reviver Lip Oil. This is in the shade Honey Talks. Just a very nice nude. All right, and then last but not least, to lock all of this in place, I'm gonna go in with some setting spray. So I'm gonna be using my Milani Make It Last setting spray. All right, so that completes the look. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Subscribe if you are a new sister to my channel. Please watch my most recent video. This is on contouring and bronzing, knowing the difference. So if you haven't checked that out, please check it out right now. And that is about it, guys. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.